Crash Course Live is presented by
Smash It Demolition Derby, who host Bash for Cash, Blizzard Bash, and Capital City Carnage. Online at smashitderby.com. And Stirring Dirt Racing, host of Maymania's team show at the Golden Spike Arena in Ogden, Utah. Online at stirringdirtracing.com.
Reckless Abandon Derby Apparel, and Derby Inc. Magazine. This is the Crash Course Demolition Derby podcast, recorded live at the FingerLakes1.com studios in downtown Seneca Falls, New York. And now your host, Chris Marquardt.
So apparently our shows every Monday night don't count as cool posts to YouTube. Is that my understanding? Based on what you were telling me a minute ago. It's
apparently so, buddy.
It's kind of a unique start to the background of everything. On deck with Crash Course number 186. Happy Independence Day. Enjoy tomorrow off. A lot of people have gone to a lot of great lengths for you guys to enjoy that day off on Independence Day, where we celebrate our establishment and life as America. Some interesting news came just as the show was starting from Core Wire. You guys remember Team Tegan, and that young man, he's battling cancer pretty hard, and she just made a post, and this kid's gone through a lot. He's gone through so much, and results from the latest spinal tap are in, and she writes that it shows that white blood cells are forming, and she went on to reiterate that that's good white blood cells, not leukemia white cells. So these are non-leukemia white blood cells are forming. He's making new blood cells all around. All of his blood counts are up. His weight's down quite a bit because he's been nauseous, been sick a little bit lately. But they've got him on some new stuff for that, and he's on some other meds for the next 36 hours to keep close. And he had a new port put in and did that like a champ. So this kid's been through a spinal tap and a new port. But the horrible news of all that leads us to the good end, that he's making non-leukemia white blood cells now, that's phenomenal news. That's great to hear. Team Tegan and Cora K. Wire up there in Minnesota. We met them a couple weeks back. We were in Mandan. Wanted to relay that to everybody so that they knew what was going on with that young man, and that update again. It just came across here a half hour ago. So it was great to hear that news from up there in Minnesota. While we were off for the break last couple weeks, a couple of our friends celebrated birthdays. Leon Rumsey, RC guy, and audio extraordinaire. We know him out in Topeka, Kansas. Eric Moulet out in California. He's another year older, which brings him, I don't know. He's been driving derby since before chickens had feathers. You know what I mean? He's been around a while. Tommy Woodbury celebrating a birthday today. They're in the throes of the Northeast Championship out there in Brockton, Massachusetts. Brandon Tyson celebrating a birthday, and Dylan Lane turning 35. We're going to be seeing Dylan Lane twice in the next probably 3 weeks, because we're going to see him July 15th. We're out there for the big Midwest Smash Fest, the two-car team show that's coming up in Geneva, Nebraska, which is going to be one of our primary focuses for the course of tonight. And then a couple weeks later, he and Rachel are going to be traveling with us to the Wasatch Wipeout in Utah. Cool. They're going to be helping us on air out there, so that'll be cool. We're going to spend a couple days on the front and back side of that show and check out some of the local area of Utah, which we haven't really been able to do due to our travel schedule. So we're gonna shoehorn that in. That'll be kind of cool. Ben's going to be going out there and helping with tech again. So I got that on the radar. And Kenny Rosno, he's building a car that he won't tell anybody what it is. He is very stingy with pictures, no less. So that's going to be cool. And then, like I said, we're going to be touching things off with Chad Bumgarner. Before we do that, I was trading messages back and forth. I don't know where things ended up.
Did you go back to Ohio?
What?
That hat, isn't that the one you lost in Ohio?
No. This is not the one that was lost in Ohio. The one that was lost, that went out the window. Was it to Ohio? Yeah, it was on the way to Ohio. Yeah, it was. The one that went out there was the first Reckless Abandon hat. That was the first one that was off. That was the one that you kept joking with me, telling me that someday it was going to be in a museum. Turns out it's going to be on the side of I-70.
Oh, that was terrific. I don't know if I've ever laughed. I thought I was going to pass out. I was laughing so hard
Yeah.
that happened.
I noticed you never once hit the brakes and thought about trying to stop.
No, we were running like 80. There was
Nope,
by the time I got
never
the
once.
brakes, we'd have been like 10 miles on the road.
Oh, I got some bad news on the topic of road trips. Is the Sirius subscription when we left South Carolina Saturday morning. We were tooling along, listening to the radio, and all of a sudden it made this funny bleep noise, and then instead of updating subscription, and it went to an advertisement, and all the channels are all the same, and the subscription expired. So I got to get that updated, but I don't think there's any reason to update it until we go on the next long road trip. So I'm just gonna ride it out until next May. We'll just wait it out. It'll be okay.
That definitely comes in handy. Once you start crashing and catching moths next door to me, I like to have the music to listen to. It's the only thing that keeps me going for that long trip home. So how was vacation? I mean, you got to sleep like a normal human, eat like a normal human. I mean, how was it?
It was awesome. It was great. We had a number of people messaging me for door art, roof signs, and stuff like that. And everybody I talked to, I said, I'm not dealing with any of this until I get back on, and we get back on the other side of Independence Day. So I got a little bit of artwork to do. I messed around with some of it yesterday, a little bit, but nothing.
You got mine done yet?
Nothing crazy. The black on black one?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's done.
All right, cool.
You need that for when?
Waterloo.
Yeah, we still got 2 weeks. It's a long
lot of
ways
time
off.
left?
Still. Like, you don't even know.
Right.
You don't even know.
At least you don't have to special deliver this one FedEx. You could, drive it out if you had to.
I know. I could.
I might actually even have a car ready for there.
How are you doing on this whole bumper situation? I knew you got a transmission now. You got the bumper?
Got it.
So,
Friday, I got out of work and went and picked up an 8 3/4 end from Richie Predmore. And then I went from Richie's to Binghamton and met Gully and got the bumper. And Gully said, man, I decided after the fact that I was going to bring I decided to take this LS motor to Josh because you just might be there, which it wasn't that far out of the way. It wasn't a big deal. So
right. Why not?
got the motor got the bumper.
Now, you guys traded bumpers or you just got that one?
I bought one from Fur. He picked it up for me and hauled it up,
Yeah.
and then I gave him a Cadillac bumper for the hauling fee. So,
And that's the most expensive bumper you've ever bought, I would assume.
gosh.
You used to buy whole cars for that.
Oh, I used to buy 2 whole cars for that. 3, depending on what it was. But, yeah, it wasn't. But, I mean, unfortunately, it's what you got to do nowadays. And, there's nothing you can really do about it.
Until you can just start making your own bumper.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Is it?
Yeah, all you do is weld a piece of 4x4 on the front of your car and go. Or 2x2 or whatever the rule says.
You remember that car that Ben flipped at Waterloo?
Yeah.
I passed one of those on the road. Coming back, I was sitting at a stoplight. Seen it with the headlights in it. I'm like, I probably could have flipped that with my minivan.
Oh, yeah.
Light little thing.
Yeah, it wasn't. That's not a good thing.
It was clean. It was very clean. I was surprised.
I bet you the one he hit and put on its lid was clean too.
Used to be. It's got some fender damage.
Yeah, it's got some. It's got some
Kenny, can I
damage.
put you in? All right, so we've got that all situated. Yeah, some minor fender damage, nothing major. For that one that, and turns out the pillars on those, what was that? It was like an 80s
Celebrity?
Skylark Celebrity, something like that. Turns out the A pillars on that are not strong enough to hold up an Imperial.
No, for sure.
Good guess, but not enough. Okay, so I struck out trying to get a hold of Chad. I'm not sure what's going on there. Moved ahead to chat with Kenny Rosno. Kenny Rosno now joining us on the line. Kenny, man, how are you?
Good, how are you guys?
We're doing all right. Make sure we got that up loud enough so we can hear him. So you all set to go for the Midwest Smash West?
I wouldn't go that far with it, but
No.
we're making progress.
I think it was Darren Brown posted something to the effect, it was a meme to the effect where it said, if we start in March, we'll be done with the car at least a week early. And it turns out that never happened. So are we in that same boat? Did you start the car early or did you wait, get a late start on it, and now you're paying the consequence?
I started early, and then, like always, I'd change plans with cars and stuff. So, yeah, that's always behind. They're never done anyway, so doesn't matter when you start, it seems.
Do you spend too much time looking at the car and start overthinking it?
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah. So Kenny Rosno for the Midwest Smash Fest. It's 2 cars, fresh cars only. $125,000 purse. First place is $20,000 to win. Not too bad of a payout as it falls off either, front to back. And there's a look at what that's going to pay out. $20,000 for first, $15,000 for second, $13,000 for third, $11,000, $10,000 for fifth. Chad Bumgarner. You can get a hold of him. Jump on Google and you punch in Midwest Smash Fest. The information comes right up. Geneva, Nebraska. July the 15th is the date of that one. He's pairing with Jason Brodzinski.
Good pair.
How did that partnership get? Did that come together?
Well, I guess I don't know. Everyone asks, and I don't know if they, it seems like they want a romantic love story out of it, but no, I guess with that kind of money, it's a pretty simple decision. But I've been somewhat friends with him for a while through Blizzard Bash and stuff, and just got on the phone with him and asked him, and he said yeah. So
now, Kenny,
pretty excited about it. Great guy, one of the best in the sport, I think. But
so the other night, you and I were exchanging some snaps, and honestly, I fell asleep, and I woke up and I had a snap from Kenny Rosno. Now, I opened the snap up, and there was a picture of a car, but it wasn't a normal-looking car. Now, was this a dream, or did this really happen? I mean, did you send me a snap, and it was a strange-looking car, or was I dreaming it all?
I think you were dreaming. It's probably just another metric.
All right. I was just checking. I mean, like I said, I woke up the next morning, and I went, man, something weird happened, and I looked at my snap, and it was gone. So, I'm interested to see how this metric turns out when we get out there in Nebraska.
Yeah, it'll be interesting in that limited world style show. See how it holds up.
The team list is stacked. There's 30 teams right now that are scheduled to go off. A couple of them just to start picking names off here. Nathan Holzen going to be teamed with John Raysett. Grant Snyder going to be working with Parker Coffin. The list just goes on and on and on. Dylan Kunkel and Lyndon Branson teaming up. We saw Rick Pilikowski and Jesse Barber. They're going to be together. Kyle Gatula and Craig Borcher. Those are names that we know from Blizzard Bash. It just keeps going. Josh and Shad Turner. We remember them from Capital City Carnage. They're going to be running together. Nathan Clausen. Remember the Clausen cars, the 5-foot car that we've seen run a bunch of times. Yep. He's with Peyton Connolly, Colin DeMuth, Jason Abel, Craig DeMuth and Jeremy Blake are going to be working together. Jason Nuttleman and Travis Bowden. Dylan Lane is going to be working with Clay Olson. And then there's new teams that are added this year. Some of them, Troy Niemeyer and Eric Yoder. They made it, and this was all done by a blind draw. It's like, it might be one of the super teams. Chad Markley and Don Santel. They made it in.
That's tough.
Yeah. Tim Toddy and Levi Skillman going to be running together. And then they've got these, I want to make sure I didn't, Matt Raymer is going to be running with Darren Hall. Just this list that's on the overflow heat. So in order for any of these overflow heat cars to get into the main draw, one of the teams has to not make it. If you show up with one car, you don't run. And there's some other weird twists to this show, which are really, really cool. In addition to having some of the other one-offs that we're going to get into a little bit more with Chad when we hear back from him, they've got this deal where the heats are supposed to be 12 minutes long. If it's 11 minutes and 30 seconds and a car becomes disabled, the rest of the shot clock goes on. If that car refires and it goes to the 12-minute max, then it cuts and everybody has to go to the consi.
Really?
Yeah. So there's some incentive to end your heat and end it quick.
Kenny, I was just going to ask, Nebraska's known for pretty hard driving. I mean, with the money that's at stake, do you expect to see guys drive as hard as normal out there?
Yes and no. I mean, with that 12-minute heat deal, you're looking, everything's going to have to speed up a little bit. But last year, the show used to be a mod show. and it was always fast-paced. Last year, I expected it to slow down, but really it was, I mean, I'm sure you guys saw that ESPN footage, whatever.
Yeah, the double rollover.
You know, it was that fast, that whole feature, and so, I mean, that many teams out in one time, and I don't think that feature went past an hour.
Yeah, definitely.
You know.
So here's another neat twist to this too. Is I just want to make sure that I get this. This involves money, so I want to make sure that I word it right. I don't want to make a mistake on this one. Right here is entry fee is $500 a team. As long as you show up the day of the show, each team is going to get half their entry fee back. So $250 comes back to the driver. If all 30 teams, all 60 cars show up the day of the show, each team is going to get their entire $500 entry fee back.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
That's the way I understand it, and that's insane. It's hard to believe, but I'm all right with it. $500 back that day.
Well, that's what you got invested in that car anyhow. So what's the big deal? $500 that pays for that car. Well, $250 because you got to split it with Jason.
Yeah. No, I paid the whole entry fee. So. But the sad thing is, you know, it'll go right back to him anyways because I'll have to get more parts. So.
Right. What do you think about the build style for this one? You know, it used to be, as you alluded to, it used to be a mod show. Things have been dialed back a little bit. It's not quite as extreme as it used to be.
I think it's harder to build to it, honestly.
Yeah.
Or you know, you're so used to like all of our local shows for the most part in our area of the state. They're all Blizzard Bash style, so you know we're in a groove of using those parts and building that style, and you know you get this and you got to re-understand the rules and learn how to back down, and it's not cheap to back down either.
No.
So what does this do in terms? What does that do in terms?
Even a win, I'd be looking at maybe bringing home $500 profit. You know.
If you know, what does this do to your confidence in the car? Not to question the buildability. I mean, we've seen what you've been able to do with the cars otherwise, but what does this do in terms of your willingness to take the haymaker shot? You know, are you more hesitant to do the kill shot because you don't have all of the modified bracing and stuff that's going to help keep the nose down and protect everything?
Me, not so much. I mean, I guess I don't care. They make more cars, but I mean, it does put that fear into you a little bit when you're looking across the arena, but I don't know. I can't let off on it when I see it. So, is this show one where, you know, when you're out there with a team of 4, everybody's working together. When it's a team of 2, it changes that dynamic a little bit. It puts the premium on that team format. This track's going to be split in half, and it's basically going to be pairings. The winning team advances. So there's only going to be a handful of cars on the track at a given time. Are you hesitant then? Whereas when there's 4 cars on the track, you send that haymaker shot and you take a car out, and you disable yourself at the same time. You still got 3 partners back there. You do this with a two-man team, and you leave your partner hung out to dry, and potentially for the rest of the event, if you do something catastrophic to your car, your driving style doesn't lend to that lifting scenario. So what happens there in that team setup? What's the general opinion out there? You know, I guess heat-wise, it's going to be a little slower, you know, and you're going to have to stick together. You know, it is what it is. There's no way to really plan for it. You know, you just can't plan out every scenario, but, you know, I guess stay side by side as much as possible, but
I think instead of running your normal 6200 chip, you probably ought to put like a 2800 in there to keep yourself calm during the heat. And then you get the feel of running wide open, and then you can chuck it for the feature.
Put the box out of reach then.
Is this the deepest this field has been? You know, we were talking a little bit about the teams that have been added and talking about some of the teams that are coming back and some of the different pairings. And you go up and down. Those are just names that sort of jumped off the page that we recognize. There's great local talent out there that this will be sometimes, in some of these cases, it'll be the first time we've seen these people run. Is this? Do you feel this is the deepest field that they've had for the Midwest Smash Fest?
Oh yeah, definitely. You know that. Well, it's and it's a county fair derby, and that's where it's all started.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been increasingly growing, and it kind of dropped off a little bit last year, going to limited welds, and a lot of mod drivers don't have that set up, and now the money is encouraging everyone to come into it.
Right. Was the limited weld with the way to go? I mean, it seemed like the entry list was so deep because they ended up having to do that drawing for those available team spots, and there was probably 4 times the number of teams that they had spots available, and they went the route of doing the draw. Was the limited weld change the way to go? Was that area in Nebraska starting to get too heavy on the mod side of things? They needed to lighten it up to get some of these guys that were on the fence between continuing on and retiring back into the game?
Right. And it all was, it was the Blizzard Bash style build. And
right.
They've always tried to keep it all in one day to where, they don't want to have the second day for tech and all that. And that's a lot. 30 teams is a lot to tech the way it is, let alone if you're running mod. And the western part of Nebraska, they kind of went to this limited weld only for the most part, and that's just Vern Newcomb.
Yep.
He's from out west, and that's just kind of he carried it on down to this show. And I don't think it's a bad decision. It just, for a lot of guys, it was really discouraging when you already got the money spent for the mod setup. And
how many guys had to go out and buy second setups, or are they using their primary motors? Did guys go buy new transmissions, new rear ends, and new engine combinations specifically for this show? And what you're hearing?
I mean, as far as everyone else, I don't know, but that's where I'm at. And
yeah.
I'm 100% brand new. I'm actually tonight working on my mod car. I refuse to take anything out of that car, so I'm looking at all brand new everything for that setup. And I had to back down the cradle, so I didn't want to put a good big motor in, and I got a smaller motor, I guess.
Why the smaller motor? What's the thought process in the smaller motor going in there?
Fuel efficiency. It's an 8-gallon maximum fuel tank, and the way it sounds is they're going to be pretty strict on that. I'm used to running a 12-gallon fuel cell in Topeka that doesn't go 5 minutes for a heat, And so, I guess just got to back it down for that reason. And it's not a baby motor by any means, but
man, if you only got 8 gallons,
economical than the.
If you only got 8 gallons of fuel, you better put an 1800 chip in there. You're really going to be.
Yeah, I don't think that'll work.
Hey, when you get done all this derby stuff, are you gonna take a weekend off and go camping? Is that in the works or what?
We're talking about it. I got a brand new 4-wheeler sitting here. I've had for a year and a half, and it's only got 100 miles on it. So that needs to get taken out and go drink some beer and ride 4-wheelers. But for now, the focus is still here. So.
Now, a couple of years ago, you told us that you were going to, lighten up and not run as many derbies. I mean, how's that going for you so far?
Yeah, it's not working, but there's always a someday.
That's right. You got to aim for that. You're young. You can still, derby 20, 30 times a year. It's all good.
Yeah, I'm down to maybe 10 now. So
later concussions will have that effect, huh?
Yeah. Hey, he's got a new helmet. He'll have a new helmet a year in Topeka if he doesn't get a crack between now and then. So he's doing good.
Wow. That's just so you know, that's not a good statistic.
Oh, goodness. Yeah, it's definitely looking forward to it. I mean, we've touched on it a bunch. I mean, I remember back in the day, Husker Havoc was a huge show. We were always trying to find the DVDs online, and I really looking forward to going to Nebraska. I mean, there's a lot of great drivers, a lot of great builders. I think it's going to be a very.
Brent Clemens is coming down from Wisconsin.
Yep, I think it's going to be a great show.
It's going to be good, and that's the thing that gets me is what Kenny was saying is it's still no different than any other county fair that you go to. It just happens to have $125,000 in prize money hanging out there, and it's locked money. It's there. They're ready to give them. If everybody shows up and makes good on their promises, they're ready to give all the entry money back.
That's insane.
It just blows my mind.
I've never heard of such a thing in my life in Derby.
No.
In anything.
No, me neither. It's definitely motivating. But
Man,
I heard through the grapevine there might be a New York driver there even.
Yeah, I've heard the same thing.
Is he talking about you, or is Gully coming down?
I guess probably me.
Yeah.
I guess I'm going to have to dig out the old helmet. And
Are you driving the mod car?
no. No shot. I got to go and go to work.
We're gonna build it like that.
You're going to build it like that?
I gotta get up and go to work Monday, so I can't be too sorry. Looking forward to it. I've never driven. I've never went on one of our trips and driven a car. I gotta obviously thank Kenny for making this happen for me. Really looking forward to it.
Side note, Kenny, after you finish this St. Regis, how many of them have you built? After you finish building the St. Regis, your total career building of St. Regis is up to 1, right?
Yeah. Go up a half a point then.
You build them a nice Aspen.
Yeah, looking forward to it. I mean, Kenny asked me
Sweet
about
81
it.
Volare.
I'd run a Volare. Kenny asked me, and I was absolutely ecstatic, and I am. I can't wait to go out and meet everybody, and it's going to be a good time. We talked with Kenny, or I talked with Kenny quite a bit at Bash for Cash, and I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be a good time.
Counting on bumping into someone new, huh? Literally.
It's going to be a good time.
You're going out there with no friends.
That's just like running water. I'm good.
Teed that up.
I'm good. You did. That was a big one coming in.
But
I think it'll be a good time. I just want to go out and have fun, and hopefully I can make Kenny happy with the way I drive the car and go from there. I mean, I told him.
What is it? Do you know what it is yet?
Not a clue.
No.
GM is all I know. So I'm sure it's one of the famous Rosno metrics. So
87 Parisienne.
Probably something like that. He said the nose is going to be strong, and I said, okay.
That's all you got to worry about.
That's all I got to worry about. I'll back up once to get the trunk where it needs to be, and then I'm just going to drive forward. So
There you go.
Kenny, does he know what he's signing up for?
I don't know. I don't know what he's signing up for. I'm just building the car for him.
Okay.
Kenny falls asleep when this class runs.
Newcomb did say he was going to take the track down a little bit. They said he got out of hand last year. I ran last year, but was working on the car during that event. But
This is the
because they opened that full track up for the feature, and even with 30 cars out there, it's a big arena, or 32, whatever.
Yeah, it's going to be big. The way they do the heats is they split it down the middle and they run 2 rings at a time.
Yeah.
So they're constantly alternating. There's no downtime in between. And then there's those supplementary classes. And Chad was rather coy when I was asking him more about let's see. Chad was rather coy on outlining specifically what some of the other divisions that he hasn't told anybody about yet are going to be. And my immediate question was, so if you haven't told anybody about them, how are you going to have any cars? And he goes, that's not the issue. The right people know about it. So I have no idea what he was getting at. I'm anxious to see what that is, but that's it's going to be fun, and I'm definitely looking forward to that the team show. I mean, it's the marquee draw, but just go out there and see what those cars can do with that build package, and you see, so many awesome names up and down that list. It's going to be a lot of fun. If we don't catch up with Chad tonight, we'll definitely try again next week. And next week I believe next week we're going to be catching up with Johnny Gullo because Wasatch Wipeout is right around the corner. And then locally we've got Yates County coming up, Madison County Fairs this weekend. We're talking to John King here in just a few minutes, and then Seneca County, and then Chautauqua County and Ontario County, all of our local stuff is packed in here in about a 6-week span. Because
then we can take it easy for a little
it
while.
peters right off after that first week of August. That first week of August has Otsego County and Franklin County up in Malone. And after that, it slows down again. But, man, that tight span of time, it gets busy. Oswego's got their derby. I don't know if they're still doing one, but that generally fell right in there around the 23rd. And then Broome County, they have their show on a Wednesday night that down in Whitney Point. They'll have that compact program that they've been
Kenny,
working
what's
on.
next after this show for you?
What's that?
Do you have another show on the horizon after this one, or you going to take a little time off, or what's your plans?
Beforehand or
No, after the show. Do you have any other derbies coming up, or
After we wrap up in Geneva, what else have you got on the schedule?
kind of all depends how that car holds up, and I'm running tomorrow in mod car in a local show here, and then after that, I guess it all depends between tomorrow and the 15th what I got left, and if I don't have anything left, I think I'm done for the year, and let's start on Blizzard Bash a little early, and maybe get sleep a couple days before.
if you start on your Blizzard Bash car in like 2 weeks, you ought to be done just about in time to pull out Wednesday morning to come to Blizzard Bash.
Yeah. Yeah, and with the new team member for 2 new team members for Blizzard Bash, we're really excited, and me and Daniel we've always been the procrastinators and pushing to the last day, and so we're both really going to try to get focused on them early this year. Just really excited, and we'll make sure we bring our best game for the new teammates because they always do. So
I think it's great that you and Daniel are both running Mopars this year. That's terrific. I'll change it up a little bit and see how it goes.
Yeah, Dovas too.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be.
Is Daniel coming down? Is Daniel coming down for the Midwest Smash Fest?
He planned on coming to help out and stuff, so hopefully he makes it down.
Good deal.
Cool.
So I lost my train of thought. Hang on. Okay, so mod cars. You said you're running the mod car tomorrow. Is that the same mod car that you alluded to, or it seems to me every time we talk to you, you're talking about a mod car that's a different mod car, or it's left over from here, left over from there, and you never throw a car away. So I'm just wondering which mod car that is.
This is Blizzard Bash.
It is. What are you building for Blizzard Bash this year? Coming up.
Metric.
I think I'm going to go old iron this year.
Yeah.
Really?
Change it up a little bit.
Why not, right?
Wow. That's cool.
Well, you never know. I got 2 of them sitting here, so we'll make the decision later.
That's awesome.
Huh. You don't have that problem
We're
over
looking
there.
at them in about 3 weeks.
I got 2 cars right now sitting at home.
That's the most cars you've had since like 2008.
At least once. If everything goes right, I'm going to run 3 derbies this year. I haven't run 3 derbies in a year in a long time. Probably I haven't. I was going to say the last time would have
That's
been
not true. It was last year. Last year you ran twice.
once.
It was just once.
I ran Gully's car at Caledonia.
Yeah.
Then the year before that, the last few years, it was all just Waterloo Heat.
The year before that, you ran Kings of Old
Kings of Old
School,
School,
and then
and then-
Waterloo both nights.
No.
No?
Waterloo one night because I bent the frame too far.
Qualified and didn't come back.
Yeah.
That's right. You ran into Terry, right? You were getting flagged and said you got to hit more, you got to hit more, you got to hit
No,
more, and it was
that
just
was
down to
the
you
year
two.
before.
That was the black and orange Cadillac.
No, that was the year before in the gray and black Cadillac.
Oh. How about that? I never thought we'd be in that point in our life where I got to remember how many Cadillacs you've had.
2. Going on 3. But I am running a Mopar in the Heat, so that'll be a good time.
So the plan is to run Waterloo and then run San Filippo?
No, the Smash Fest in Nebraska. That'll be the first one.
Yeah.
Then I'll have both cars, Waterloo.
I'm talking about. I was just talking. I'm sorry. I was just talking about after.
I would like to go to San Filippo, depending on time off, because work has been insane lately with orders. I'd like to go on there and run, but I don't always have a lot of stuff left over after I get done running locally. So We'll have to see. I would definitely like to make it down at least to support. Even if I can't run, I'd like to go down and do something, try to help out. But unfortunately, like I said, work has been crazy, and so.
If in fact you don't have anything to do and you can't, I'll have to talk to you more about it after the show about some of the stuff that Gully's got working that would change a lot of the stuff that we have to do down there.
Okay.
You need to get a Dodge truck. You need to get one of those. Talk to Bolton. He had some stuff laid around. It's been a while since you've been in a truck, hasn't it?
I've never been in a full-size pickup.
Yeah, the only pickup that I remember was that Ranger.
Yeah.
It was the worst decision of your life.
Pretty close. But I came out the side window, though, which was impressive because it was a small side window.
Yeah.
I came out the side window.
Kenny, you ever mess around with trucks at all?
What's that?
You ever mess around with pickup trucks at all?
I ran one, and as a buddy had it laying around and told me to get in it. And, yeah, they're not my cup of tea, but it was fun. Around here, they're kind of dying off. They were big. They were Butcher Bash style. And actually, a local kid usually runs the trucks down there and does pretty well. But, Stephen Sherman and Cody Hames both do. But yeah, they're kind of dying off. They backed the rules off on them, and nobody really wants to build them stock. So,
Kenny, when you started out, did you start out, in the lighter builds, or did you start right out driving something heavy, then just kind of stay there? Or did you start light and work your way into the more modified style builds?
Well, when I started when I was 15, and that was the first year around here that 80s and newer were really a thing, and they had a separate bolt and chain 80s and newer for the first 2 years, and then after that they just kind of joined everything together, and it's ever since then it's been mod progressing, and back then it was a limited weld, but yeah, it's always never been in a small car or anything.
Yeah. I just didn't know if you had started, kind of light and then worked, progressed onto the modified. But
can you imagine when Kenny pulls out in his 1993 Lumina Euro with a chip chip to whip out through the sunroof?
Yeah, that'd be awesome. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, you gotta have that 4-cylinder for fuel efficiency.
So when you said small, you were like real small.
Oh yeah, half the motor.
That's awesome.
Excellent. Well, Kenny, man, is there anybody that you want to make mention of? I know you mentioned a little bit of your team and Daniel and Jason working close, and some of your new teammates for Blizzard Bash. Anybody else you want to make mention of here before we get out of here for the night?
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to thank everyone that comes over and helps, especially my cousin Anthony is here about every day, and girlfriend puts up with it, and my mom puts up with the noise there at her house, and it takes a lot of people to make it happen, and I'd like to thank Jason Brodzinski for kind of cutting me a deal and helping me out with parts, and Brian Merritt and John Muse and Brian Ostrander with Catskill has done a lot for me too, and I'm sure I'm forgetting a bunch of people, but
do you think you should thank that person that's really good with a rifle from a lot of yards away and for putting up with it too?
What's that?
I think.
Do you think you should thank Lindsay?
I think you did. I thought you said.
Did you say Lindsay?
Yeah. She was one of the first ones.
All right. I wasn't listening. Sorry, never mind. This is my first day of the show.
She was right there making sure.
Just making sure.
She even makes me dinner sometimes, and I'm not getting there till 12 o'clock at night.
Man, she keeps making you dinner. You're going to think she likes you or something. That's kind of crazy.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. We won't get carried away with it. But.
That's awesome.
Well, Kenny, wish you the best. We're looking forward to seeing you here when we get down there. We're coming in a couple days early, and with the sounds of things, maybe we're still going to try and catch that racetrack if there's no weather in the area.
All right. Sounds good.
All right, man. We'll
Good
see you
luck
soon.
Tomorrow night, man.
Looking forward to seeing you guys.
We'll see you soon.
Talk to you later.
Bye.
There goes Kenny Rosno. He got off quick. He must have a lot of work to do in that shop. He couldn't hang that up fast enough.
He's on for a while.
Yeah, he was.
I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm really excited. Like I said, getting ready to go out there and run and just watch. It's gonna be wild. I can't wait.
It is going to be a good one. We talked about it a bit ago. Here's the information again one more time. July the 15th, Geneva, Nebraska. It is the Midwest Smash Fest. Chad Bumgarner is in charge of it. 402-759-2583. 402-759-2583. $20,000 for first, $125,000 total being paid out, and that money is guaranteed. Not too bad of a payday there. We made reference to how busy this month is going to be. Jeremy Gully's got a couple derbies coming up. He's going to be at the Otsego County Fair in Morris, New York, the 3rd and the 6th of August. August the 4th, he's going to be at the Wayne County Fair with Spinning Wheels Productions in Honesdale, Pennsylvania. GDS at the GDS Fairgrounds in Newfoundland, Pennsylvania is the 25th of August. And that other one that Brian referenced a minute ago, the San Filippo Smash in Morris at the Otsego County Fairgrounds on September the 30th. Jump online, spinningwheelsproductions.com for additional information. This is one of the topics we're going to hit on next week when we get on the air. On Monday, Wasatch Wipeout in Heber City, Utah. It's a 2-day event, $84,000 being paid out there. Ben's going to be out there helping tech it. We're going to be out there doing the coverage of it. September the 9th, the West Jordan Beatdown in West Jordan, Utah. Iron Trucks, Farm Trucks, and the Passenger Derby. Why in the world you'd want to ride passenger in Utah is beyond me. But, hey, I'm not here to judge. $30,000 purse in that one. The next weekend is the Day of Reckoning at that all-new State Fair venue in Salt Lake City. And then October the 7th, we're back out there for our 3rd trip to Utah in 2017 for Halloween Havoc. Run what you brung. Pit Party, SternDirtRacing.com has all the details on that one. A lot of action over the weekend in the last week, I should probably say, for Smash It Demolition Derbies. Online, SmashItDerby.com. This is what's coming up for them. Boyd County in Kentucky on the 13th of July. They got about a week off now. They got about 10 days off before the next one going from today. July the 15th is Madison County in Leonard, Ohio. 80s wire class Smash It's the mini cars, street stocks, Power Wheels. Montgomery County on the 15th in Dayton, Ohio. Smash It's the street stocks, compact, Smash It mowers, Power Wheels. The 21st is I got to get John King's number quick before my phone shuts off again too. Let's see, 750. My phone just died, and then for some reason powered itself back on. And it reminded me to get John's phone number because I had to call him in just a minute. Back to what we were talking about here with the Smash It ad. Montgomery County in Dayton, Ohio. Smash It Street Stock Compact. Smash It Mowers Power Wheels July the 21st. Jackson County in Wellston, Ohio. Smash It Class Compact Street Stock Smash It Mowers. And on the 22nd, Franklin County Fair in Hilliard, Ohio. 80s wire, mild weld, mini car, street stocks, Power Wheels, Smash It Mowers, big card there. And then Fayette County in Washington Courthouse, street stocks, compact class, 80s wire class, all on deck there. And Chaos in the Valley, it's going to be here before you know it. I mean, we just talked about how in 6 weeks our derby season is going to be done with, and we're going to be into the second week of August. It's going to be crazy. We're going to be back down in the Shenandoah Valley with Jason and Penny Shipe and the Tomsbrook Volunteer Fire Department. This show is always a home run. It's going to be an awesome one. Again, this year, the Wild Class now open to Imperials and hearses. Wait till they bring a straight axle hearse out of Sean Grokenauer's shop, right? With an Imperial subframe stuffed under it. You know what I mean? Like, because it could happen. It could happen. Compact division, stock division, Wild Class, trucks and vans, all on the card. 540-335-7510. That's for Jason Shipe. You can direct all your questions there. Shenandoah County Fairgrounds, Woodstock, Virginia. We're also going to be back down there for the fair at the end of August. Rounding out our ad segments, Blizzard Bash 2017, November 8th through the 12th, the Kansas Expo Center, Topeka, Kansas. Thursday the 9th is National and Qualifying Bracket Round 1. On Friday the 10th at 9 a.m., that's the RC Derby, National and Qualifying Team Rounds 2, and then the 14 to 17-year-old youth class is at 6 o'clock that night. Saturday the 11th, that's the double card. Compacts run with the limited welds in the morning at 10 o'clock. That's the round 1 for their team bracket. And then the Power Wheels, all the Team B mains, the trucks, the youth class, and the bone stocks, all going off at 6 o'clock Saturday night. And then Championship Sunday, 1 o'clock start time. National Qualifying Limited Weld and Compact Team A mains on deck there. So we got to get John King online to talk a little bit about his upcoming show, which is scheduled for this weekend. Madison County Fairgrounds going to be in action on Saturday. They always have that Independence Weekend. Is when they take off. and they got pushed a little bit further out with the way that the schedule was a little strange. I bet you this is going to make me redial the number. We'll see. Not been a strong show for the telephone tonight.
Out of practice.
Out of practice? I don't think so. I had a conference call with some of the tech crew in Nebraska. Hey, John. I had a conference call Thursday morning when we were down in South Carolina to make sure that all of our technology was going to work the way that it was supposed to, and it should. So we'll find out more when we get down there, which is in
anything that arises. I'm sure you will fix.
We'll find a way. John King joining us on the hotline now. Talk a little bit about the Madison County Fair and Wheel Days coming up in Brookfield, New York. John, how are you?
What's that?
How are you, John?
We're doing pretty good here, I guess.
That's good. How's it looking for the fair?
Well, hopefully we'll get some cars. We're going to pay, like, the big cars, we're going to pay $1,500 for first, $500 for second, and $150 for third. And then the small cars, we got 4 and 6 cylinders under 107-inch wheelbase. Excuse me. We're going to pay $1,200 and $125. That's based on 40 cars per class, but we usually get that. So
that's always a good show down there. Always so hard hitting. That's some of the stomping grounds of some of the guys that have come up on the show time and time again, tied to Wheel Days or tied to Morris, tied to Brookfield and all that other stuff. What is the catalyst down there in that area that makes all those drivers so accustomed to running so hard? It's not like you have anybody down there that's common to sandbagging.
Well, most of them just like to come and wreck things here at Brookfield, and of course we have the Mad Dog trophies every year, and we had a lot of them. We got like 8 or 10 of them this year for each heat. So when somebody wins a heat, there's a good chance they could be the Mad Dog too. But we take 2 out of each heat, pay $100 for each of them, and then the Mad Dog, whoever that is, goes into the feature too. So you get 3 guys in each heat. So hopefully the cars will show, but you never know.
I remember a couple of years ago was I think it was the last year that we did the DVD down there, and then we turned around and came back 2 years later and did the live stream down there. There was like 170 cars or something around there, 174, something like that, and they had 14 rounds of qualifying and then a total, I think, of 16 events on the track or 17 events on the track, and the average time was like 6:53.
That's awesome.
It was just running right through stuff, and this is a combination of, especially the compact division, the small car classes were packed, and it was all fresh stuff. It was all fresh stuff for Wheel Days, and the fair does just as well over there. I'm glad they were able to bolster the purse a little bit for those guys, and putting it car count contingent. It always seems like that's a risky decision, but you put those numbers where you guys are commonly at anyway, so it doesn't sound like anybody's at too much of a risk of not having a chance of pulling home that $1,000 or that $1,500.
Yeah, well, if we're real close to it, we usually go with it anyways. It's just like when we run at Fulton. We usually have a 20-car limit. If we don't get to 20 cars, we still paid $1,000, $300, and $200, which is very good for me because then that's what draws the cars.
Right.
And we are going to run the trucks and the vans, but it just depends on how many we get, because we pay 100% payback, and plus we get 5, we throw in more money, and
sure,
we have a rollover contest too. So most of the time, that's my crazy family that's in that. So
yes, they are all crazy that do that too. It is nuts. You ever seen inside one of those rollover cars?
I've never, not in person. I watched it on TV.
It's insane.
I think you should try that, Chris.
Nope, not interested. Not interested at all. The closest I got to a rollover contest was with Jeremy Gully, and that was enough for me. He didn't do the rollover contest quite in the same vein as what these guys do. These guys have a ramp, and they get the cars up on 2 wheels, and they score points if you land on your door, on your roof, or if you go all the way over on your wheels and stuff. Jeremy's rollover contest, he was trying to flip as many trucks as possible, which was a little bit different, but nonetheless, it was fun and made for some great memory stories and a little bit of grudge.
I'm sorry.
If you want, I'll run down what the pick gates are going to open at 10 o'clock on Saturday.
Okay.
That'll be gate 3. The power wheels will start at 1 o'clock, and The grandstand tickets go on sale at 3 o'clock. This year it's $7 for the grandstand. It's $5 fair admission, and except for under tree on fair admission, they're free. But the pit passes will be $15 like always, and the entry fee for the car is $30. So
Okay.
we've kept the price down. Hopefully we can keep it down. And I tried to keep the grandstand down to $6, but I got railroaded, and they upped it to $7 this year. So it still should be worth their money to come out. Anybody that wants to come out, I tell you, most of the time we have a good show here. Hopefully we'll continue the trend, but you never know.
When
I'm I'm the little guy in this business, you know. I just try to keep it going, and except for my September one, that's my pride and joy. That's the one I like the best because we get the 170 cars. So
right.
it's a long day, but I do it for the drivers and the fans. So, and my whole family's involved, so they do it for the joy of it too. So, except for they tell me, Dad, when you get ready you're done, we're ready. So,
Did you end up getting the event in over at Utica Rome Speedway? I know they had all sorts of trouble with weather this year.
no, the problem is we're going to run into fairs and stuff.
Right.
There's a possibility it might be at the end of the year, but I'm not going to say 100% sure that they will have it. But
Right.
they will try again next year if we don't have it this year. But like I say, I got the one at Brewerton the 21st of July, and then I'm back at Fulton the 26th of August, and then I got the wheel day. So, and plus there's all sorts of fairs, plus Afton's after me to come down and help them Sunday, the day after mine, but I got to decide whether races or demo.
Right.
And last night was a long night at the races, so.
It was a good one, though.
And it was a very interesting night, too. So I'll tell you that.
Yeah. I didn't realize you had more still on deck at Fulton. I thought that would already had already gone through, but sure enough, you got one there. Canandaigua Motorsports Park had a youth derby planned for Saturday. That actually got rained out. They've now moved that to the 15th of July, which I'm not sure how that's going to do. It's going to be challenging to have that the week. It's basically the week before their fair. 2 weeks before their fair, and it's going to sit right on top of another derby. I just don't know if that's going to be.
That weekend?
I think so.
Well, that's like I told them at Fulton. I says, I don't know. I says, there's getting to be so many derbies, people's got to pick. And I says, you're going to run the cars out. I says, but they said, well, we'll try it once, and if it don't work, then we won't do it again. So I said, it's your money, not mine. So,
right on. Well, John, man, I appreciate you coming on the show. Where can people find more information? You've got a pretty active Facebook page.
What's that, Chris?
Where can people find more information on the fair and on wheel days?
Well, all they got to do is go on our Facebook, King Smash 'em, Crash 'em, and go underneath the notes section and all the rules. And I'm pretty sure there's a schedule on there, too.
Awesome.
If they have any questions, they can just go on our Facebook, and then they can get a hold of us through there. That's the way we do most of ours, through. So.
Perfect. Jump online, check them out. You got a couple derbies to choose from if you're looking for compact stuff, full-size stuff, you name it, they offer it. King Smash from Crash from Demolition Derbies. John, appreciate you coming on the show tonight. Have a great Independence Day tomorrow.
Okay, well, thanks a lot for everything you do, Chris, and for getting me on tonight, too. I appreciate it.
You bet, man. We'll catch up with you later.
Okay, we'll catch you later.
See you, John.
Are they having Power Wheels at Smash Fest? Haven't you heard? I was going to ask Kenny because he built his nephew. He built a Power Wheels car, painted it just like one of his cars. Then he got a pickup and made it look like his pickup and built his nephew a trailer.
Yeah,
So he's got the whole thing. It looks pretty awesome.
Yeah, they've got the bone stock class, which I think that's what you're running in, right?
I think so.
I believe the bone stock class and the Power Wheels, and then there's the right in the show notes. There's another surprise class as well. So who knows? Who knows what? Got some ideas, but I don't have any answers.
Maybe it'll be a combine derby. Wouldn't that be awesome?
Nope, it's not what I thought. Not what I was thinking.
You're no fun.
I'm not. I'm a real
Hey,
stick in
did
the
you
mud.
see the thing on Facebook where the tractor was pulling? It was one of the big tractors with like 4 motors. And it got up in the air, and it landed wrong and broke the front end right out from underneath it, and like landed up on the axle, and then kind of leaned over on its side like this. It was on Facebook. You were on vacation. You probably missed it. It's pretty neat looking. Expensive, but pretty neat looking.
It sounds expensive.
Yeah, it sounds very expensive. But
Those combine heads, it's basically $1,000 a foot when you buy one. And you want to smash them.
well, it isn't like they're smashing brand new combines. It's been sitting out in the weeds for 40 years.
Sweet 1981 Gleaner.
I know where one of those is.
Yeah?
Yeah.
At your dad's house?
No. I haven't had a combine there in years.
No?
My dad did get derbied on a combine once, though. We were pulling him up the road, and a drunk came up behind him and hit him. Drove right underneath the back of it. And I remember, like, I was maybe 3, but I remember like it was yesterday. My brother was driving the tractor. I was behind, sitting in the seat behind him, or the thing behind him. All of a sudden, Dad's combine turned into a telephone pole. I'm like, that was weird. Sure enough, he'd come up the road hammered, drove right, and it was one house up from where we live.
All the accidents happened on the 7 miles home.
I do. That was 7 steps about.
What happened to the guy?
He was drunk, so he didn't get hurt.
Yeah. That's
He was good. Dad broke the seat. Pretty sure he broke a vertebrae in his back, but I don't think he ever went to the doctors. Did something to his elbow. But
it's just another day.
just another day.
That's crazy.
Another day.
Broke a vertay. What are they going to do at the doctor's office?
What are they going to do?
What are they going to do? They're going to put a Band-Aid on it.
Yeah,
Get out of here.
Tell
It's
you
just
not to farm? Come on. Got to pay the bills. Tell you not to farm. So, looking forward to it, man.
Yeah, it's going to
2
be
weeks,
good.
We're going to be in Nebraska. Actually,
We leave next week about this time. Yeah, we will have already. Well, no, excuse me. I got my days all backwards because I'm thinking
it's the 4th. It's 11 days.
Yeah. It'll be next Wednesday or Thursday when we take off.
2 Wednesdays or Thursdays.
Is it?
This one, and then the next one.
Yep.
So it's 2.
I'm all upside down. We've got today, which I thought was yesterday. I was about ready to leave for the podcast Sunday. Now tomorrow we got all sorts of plans with the family. Thursday I think we're going to be at Empire Dragway. I think Saturday we're at Empire Dragway. Sunday we're in Youngstown, New York, and then Monday we're back here, and then I think we fly out that Wednesday or that Thursday.
No, I think it's Thursday. Now that you're done with school, do your days just kind of all run into one? Where
It's just one now. It's just basically I left school, and then at some point in July I'm going to go to bed and then have to go to school the next day.
Yeah.
And I got a couple days I'm going to go in and work summer school too. We're going to go in and help some of the kids. It's all computerized self-learning stuff. So just kind of help reiterate lessons and stuff like that.
Yeah,
It's a couple 4 days. My buddy Scott's got like 13 classes to teach. It's rough. It's rough.
We with my schedule, there's 1 week out of my schedule where I work. I have a weekend off. And then after that, it rotates. So, like the second weekend, I have no clue what the day is. It just all goes together. And then you tell me when we got to get on a plane.
Yep, that's the way summer goes. Like, hey, you need to be at the airport tomorrow. I do. Yeah, call in.
I'm almost 7 months in. Haven't used a sick day.
That's perfect. That's good. That's
6 more months, and I get a nice bonus in January.
Don't get a cold.
I'll go to work if I'm sick. It's going to work. It's not going to work because I got stuff to do. That's the tough part.
On camera. Just said that on camera. I think we've covered all of our bases for tonight. I got a note back from Chad. We're gonna catch up with him next Monday. Run over all of our details then, so that'll work out good. We'll catch up with him. Probably Johnny Gullo. Who knows what else will come up between then and now. But that's going to do it for this one. Appreciate everybody hanging out with us for a little while here. Day before they enjoy a nice 4th of July off. Be safe, be responsible. Enjoy the time on the lake, on the beaches with your family. We'll see everybody again next Monday. And then next time we talk to everybody, I think we're going to be in Nebraska. So appreciate it. We'll see everybody again soon.
Crash Course Live is presented by
Smash It Demolition Derby, who host Bash for Cash, Blizzard Bash, and Capital City Carnage. Online at smashitderby.com. And Stirring Dirt Racing, host of May Mania's team show at the Golden Spike Arena in Ogden, Utah. Online at stirringdirtracing.com.
Reckless Abandon and Derby Apparel, and Derby Inc. Magazine. This is The Crash Course Demolition Derby podcast, recorded live at the FingerLakes1.com studios in downtown Seneca Falls, New York.